going to spend a couple of minutes just chatting about language, our use of language, and more importantly, the guru's use of language. I think it was Maeve Binchy who said, "You don't wear all your best clothes at once." And she was referring to it in a literary sense, where you don't necessarily trot out all your best language in the one sentence, in the one paragraph, chapter, book. And then I'll go with Einstein saying, if you can't explain something to a 5-year-old, then you don't understand it well enough yourself. It's not about dumbing it down. It's about using everyday language to catch people the first time they hear something. Not to be overly verbose. See? Overly verbose. Not to use too many words, or simple single ones will do. I had a discussion last night with a very beautiful woman. And part of that discussion, she vented her frustration at Eckhart Tolle's use of language. She finds him to be overly academic. She finds his use of language to be too complicated. And she feels like it's almost an affectation, that it's something that's done on purpose. Who knows, she may be right. The particular point that she had a problem with was where Tolle says that all negativity stems from an accumulation of psychological time. Now, to the layman, that makes absolutely no sense. And to the person reading it for the first time, it may also make no sense. And so they discount anything else he may have to say. But the thing is, he's right. All negativity does stem from an accumulation of psychological time. Just what is that? The more time we spend thinking negatively, sitting with negative thoughts, going back over our mistakes, and the more that we accumulate that negativity, the more we become that negativity. And it just becomes how we approach life and how we view life. So you might be better off saying that all negativity stems from spending too much time in your past with your mistakes and not enough time in your present with your potential. You can't change your past. You can only change everything from now. It's that simple. And that is the idea. The great mystics were not people who felt that they had to bend the language. They didn't feel like they had to lecture down, because all they cared about was the message. The modern mystic tends to be someone whose use of language elevates them, and they will attract a certain level of human being. That level of human being will be somebody with an education, which kind of leads on to somebody who will probably have enough money to buy what you're selling. I try in all of this to simplify the big messages, not because anybody's stupid, but because I need them simplified. I need to see them simply. I need to hear them simply. I need to use everyday language to make the everyday point to everyday people. And that language is the everyday language. That's why I don't try to flower it. I could. My verbal gymnastic ability is probably of Olympic standard. Why the hell would I want to? I want you to get what I'm saying. Then I want you to be able to personalize it straight away. I don't want you to have to go away and dissect it. I want you to get the message and then see how the message pertains to you. And you might say, oh, well, maybe you need to study. What you need to study is yourself. You need to study how the message works for you. And you need not to be talked down to. You don't need sophisticated terminology. I don't need to return to presence. I'm already here. If my attention wanders, I'll bring it back to now. That's as sophisticated as I want to be. Keep the practice simple. Keep your basics simple. Practice them often. That's pretty much all there is to it. Be as self-aware as you know how to be at the time. And that's basically just critiquing and saying, how well am I doing today as a human being? If I'm doing okay as a human being, then this is good. That's now my baseline for how I behave as a human being. If I've had a day where my own conscience, my own intuition tells me you could have done better, then I know that tomorrow I have improvements to make. And yes, I do look back at the past and say, that was a way of behaving. But I'm not sitting there anymore, so it's not going to be a way of behaving. So my way of behaving evolves. It's an evolutionary process. I don't evolve. I'm still me. Still irritating. But at least I know me now. And I know how to be more empathetic, more compassionate, more open, more honest, more loving. How to want the best for everyone, friend and foe. That's all there is to it. The bigger questions beyond that, the who am I's, the why am I here's, they're questions for another day. Slowly but surely we'll unwind them. But we're going to unwind them using language that you won't have to have a thesaurus by your side to master. Have a good day.